Great news, cartoon and football fans. My new book, Fashion Girl 3.0, is now on sale. The fourth book of the Fashion Girl series and the first full-fledged novel. Look for it on Amazon, iTunes, Barnes & Noble's website, and other sites where books are sold. At the end of this video, I will give a brief description of this new book.
The story you're about to see is a big, fat lie. No names have been changed to protect anybody.
Now in its 44th year in operation, combining cartoons and football together since 1981. This is America's first and foremost fantasy football league. We are the USCFL. The United States Cartoon Football League. And now, the USCFL Network, in association with YouTube, presents the USCFL Postgame Show. Here's once again is Robbie Graham.
Greetings, cartoon and football fans. This is Robbie Graham of the USCFL Network bringing you the action and highlights of Week 12 and the final week of Round 3 of the USCFL's 2024 season. If you're joining us for the first time, may we extend to you a cordial welcome, and we hope you'll enjoy everything this channel has to offer. We also invite you to take a moment to subscribe to this channel and join our team. We strive to be one of YouTube's least offensive channels by providing a different spin about your favorite cartoon characters from the past and present that doesn't reflect upon their true legacies. If your favorite character or characters aren't mentioned in our videos, please leave a comment and we will answer your questions. Also be sure to ring the bell to alert you of when we put up any new videos. The USCFL is on Patreon, and you can help support us for as low as $3 US a month to as much as $5 US a month, which averages out to 10 to 17 cents a day. In time, we can offer merchandise and other perks to help show your love for America's oldest fantasy football league. Spring has turned to summer. The weather is getting hot as well as the competition. This week's games, regardless of their outcomes, will determine three things. 1, to complete the roster for the quarterfinals. 2, who plays who and where. And 3, their seeding for the quarterfinals. And in 1 minute, we will talk about and present the highlights of an exciting Game 23 between the Disney All-Stars and the Filmation All-Stars from Richmond, Virginia.
Hot town, summer in the city, back of my neck getting dirt and gritty. Been down, isn't it a pity? Doesn't seem to be a shadow in the city. All around, people looking half dead, walking on the sidewalk harder than a match here. But at night it's a different world. Go out and find a girl. Come on and dance all night. Despite the heat, it'll be alright. And babe, don't you know it's a pity the days can't be like the nights in the summer, in the city, in the summer, in the city. Cool town, meeting in the city, dressed so fine and looking so pretty. Cool cat, looking for a kitty, gonna look in every corner of the city. Till I'm wheezing like a bus stop, running up the stairs, gonna meet you on the rooftop. But at night it's a different world. Go out and find a girl. Come on and dance all night.
Welcome back. In Richmond, Virginia, Mickey Mouse and She-Ra wrote the next chapter of their long-standing rivalry. It's the 5th biggest rivalry in league history that goes back to the 2009 Atlantic Conference Championship game. Of course, they've played against each other many times before that, but it got intense since that game. And over the years, the rivalry got more intense and exciting with each game played. And this game was no exception, but it didn't start that way at first. The only score of the first quarter came with just over 4 minutes left as Mickey Mouse threw an 8-yard touchdown pass to Minnie Mouse to go up 7-0. In the second quarter, She-Ra tied the game as she threw a 7-yard touchdown pass to her castmate Glimmer to tie the game. Ariel kicked a field goal as Disney went up 10-7 at halftime. In the third quarter, Filmation went ahead as She-Ra threw her second touchdown pass to Teela of the He-Man series from 31 yards out to take a 14-10 lead. Adora put up a field goal to go up 17-10 with over 6 minutes remaining. About a minute and a half later, Buzz Lightyear went to the end zone and beyond from 49 yards out to tie the game at 17. Ariel's second field goal closed out the third quarter as Filmation led 20-17. In the fourth quarter, Ariel's second field goal tied the game for the third time, 20-20, with over 12 minutes remaining. Nearly 5 minutes later, Sheriff Woody, filling in for Buzz Lightyear, ran in from 3 yards out as if there was a snake in his boot to go up 27-20. Just 15 seconds later, Filmation tied the game for the fourth time as Tila on the end around ran in from 80 yards out to tie the game at 27. This play was used in Goal for the Goal 25 in 1990 that gave Tila game MVP honors, and it was the first time this play was used since then. Adora had a chance to put Filmation up by 3 before the 2-minute warning, but the ball bounced off the upright and it proved fatal for Filmation. With excellent clock management, Ariel kicked a 50-yard field goal as time ran out as Disney won 30-27 in a wild finish. Disney will advance to the quarterfinals, while Filmation, losing 2 games by a field goal on the final plays of the games, have been eliminated from the tournament, failing to make the playoffs for the first time in 5 years, has finished in 10th place. As for the stats in this exciting game, beginning with Disney, Mickey Mouse finished 26 of 53 for 371 yards, 1 touchdown, and 2 interceptions. Buzz Lightyear, the player of the game, rushed for 155 yards on 29 carries and 1 touchdown. Elsa from the movie Frozen led the receivers as she caught 5 passes for 86 yards. Stitch led the defense with 6 tackles, 1 assist, and 1 interception. Ariel finished with 12 points. For Filmation, She-Ra finished 30 of 45 for 219 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. This is the first time in her illustrious career that She-Ra failed to throw for at least 300 yards in any game of any season. Spinnerella rushed for 136 yards on 31 carries. Tila led the receivers as she caught 4 passes for 62 yards and 1 touchdown. She also had the end-around touchdown for 80 yards. Trapjaw, also of the He-Man series, led the defense with 6 tackles, 1 assist, and 1 interception. Adora finished with 9 points. The field goal she missed would have sent the game into overtime and possibly with a different outcome. And here's the highlights of this exciting game, courtesy of EA Sports. In 1 minute, we will talk about and present the highlights of Game 24 between the 80s All-Stars and the Hanna-Barbera All-Stars to get the final quarterfinal participant from Atlanta.
I'm gonna raise a fuss, I'm gonna raise a holler about a working all summer just to try to earn a dollar. Every time I call my baby, try to get a date, my boss says,
no die, son, you gotta work late.
sometimes I wonder what I'm gonna do, but there ain't no cure for the summertime blues. Oh, well, my mom and papa told me, son, you gotta make some money. If you wanna use the car to go a ride next Sunday. Oh, well, I didn't go to work, told the boss I was sick.
Now you can't use a car cause you didn't work.
Welcome back. In Atlanta, the final quarterfinal participant had been found. It was either the 80s All-Stars, who we predicted would win the title, and the Hanna-Barbera All-Stars, who we predicted would finish in 9th place like they did last year. The game started out to be a kicking clinic, as in the first quarter, Vanity Smurf put up a trio of field goals, while Bumblebee put up one field goal, as Hanna-Barbera led 9-3 after the first quarter. The second quarter started out like the first, as Vanity Smurf and Bumblebee put up a field goal each, as Hanna-Barbera led 12-6. Then with 38 seconds left in the first half, Daphne Blake found her castmate Scooby-Doo in the end zone from 15 yards out to extend the lead 19-6. Then with 12 seconds left, Jem threw a 4-yard touchdown pass to Chitara as Hanna-Barbera led 19-13 at halftime. In the third quarter, Daphne and Scooby connected again from 80 yards out, and with a successful 2-point conversion, Hanna-Barbera was up 27-13. With over 7 minutes left, Bumblebee's third field goal had the 80s All-Stars trail 27-16 at the end of the third quarter. In the fourth quarter, Vanity Smurf put up another pair of field goals, with the second deflecting off the upright and went in, as Hanna-Barbera led 33-16 with over 11 minutes left. Bumblebee's fourth field goal had the 80s All-Stars trail 33-19 with under 11 minutes left. About 4 minutes later, Jem threw her second touchdown pass to backup tight end Steelheart of the Silverhawks to trail 33-26, still with over 6 minutes left. Just before the 2-minute warning, Scrappy-Doo put the game away for good as he ran in the end zone from 5 yards out to extend the lead 40-26. Vanity Smurf's seventh field goal gave Hanna-Barbera a 43-26 win. For the first time in 5 years, Hanna-Barbera will go to the playoffs with the number 6 seed, while the 80s All-Stars, our predicted winners, have been eliminated from the tournament and finishes in 9th place. Welcome back. In Atlanta, the final quarterfinal participant had been found. It was either the 80s All-Stars, who we predicted would win the title, and the Hanna-Barbera All-Stars, who we predicted would finish in 9th place like they did last year. The game started out to be a kicking clinic, as in the first quarter, Vanity Smurf put up a trio of field goals, while Bumblebee put up one field goal, as Hanna-Barbera led 9-3 after the first quarter. The second quarter started out like the first, as Vanity Smurf and Bumblebee put up a field goal each, as Hanna-Barbera led 12-6. Then with 38 seconds left in the first half, Daphne Blake found her castmate Scooby-Doo in the end zone from 15 yards out to extend the lead 19-6. Then with 12 seconds left, Jem threw a 4-yard touchdown pass to Chitara as Hanna-Barbera led 19-13 at halftime. In the third quarter, Daphne and Scooby connected again from 80 yards out, and with a successful 2-point conversion, Hanna-Barbera was up 27-13. With over 7 minutes left, Bumblebee's third field goal had the 80s All-Stars trail 27-16 at the end of the third quarter. In the fourth quarter, Vanity Smurf put up another pair of field goals, with the second deflecting off the upright and went in as Hanna-Barbera led 33-16 with over 11 minutes left. Bumblebee's fourth field goal had the 80s All-Stars trail 33-19 with under 11 minutes left. About 4 minutes later, Jem threw her second touchdown pass to backup tight end Steelheart of the Silverhawks to trail 33-26, still with over 6 minutes left. Just before the 2-minute warning, Scrappy Doo put the game away for good as he ran in the end zone from 5 yards out to extend the lead 40-26. Vanity Smurf's seventh field goal gave Hanna-Barbera a 43-26 win. For the first time in 5 years, Hanna-Barbera will go to the playoffs with the number 6 seed, while the 80s All-Stars, our predicted winners, have been eliminated from the tournament and finishes in 9th place. As for the stats in this game, beginning with the 80s All-Stars, Jem finished 22 of 51 for 326 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions. April O'Neil rushed for 63 yards on 22 carries. Her castmate Raphael led the receivers as he caught 5 passes for 86 yards. Cobra Commander of G.I. Joe led the defense with 6 tackles, 1 assist, and 1 sack. Bumblebee finished with 14 points. For Hanna-Barbera, Daphne Blake finished 31 of 53 for 410 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. Wilma Flintstone rushed for 91 yards on 24 carries. Scrappy Doo filled in for Wilma after she got injured and rushed for 66 yards on 22 carries and 1 touchdown. His uncle Scooby was the player of the game as he caught 8 passes for 187 yards and 2 touchdowns. Johnny Quest led the defense with 5 tackles, 1 sack, 1 forced fumble, and Vanity Smurf tied Batgirl's season high with 23 points. And here's the highlights of this game, courtesy of EA Sports.
Words, weapons, sharpened knives, makes you wonder how the other half died. Other half died. Makes you wonder, wonder. Well, here come the man with a look in his eye. Fed on nothing but full of pride. Look at him go, look at him kick. Makes you wonder how the other half live. Devil inside, the devil inside. Every single one of us, the devil inside. Devil inside, devil inside. Every single one of us, the devil inside. Oh. tide. Future uncertain, but certainly slight. Look at the faces, listen to the bells. It's hard to believe we need a place called hell. Place called hell. The devil inside, the devil inside. Every single one of us, the devil inside. Devil inside, the devil inside. Every single one of us, the devil inside. Ooh. A woman with a look in her eye. She's raised on leather, flesh on her mind. Words and weapons, sharper than knives. Makes you wonder how the other half died. The devil inside, the devil inside. Every single one of us, the devil inside. The devil inside, the devil inside. Every single one of us, the devil inside. The devil inside, devil inside. Every single one of us, the devil inside. Devil inside, devil inside. Every single one of us, the devil inside. Oh. The devil inside. Yeah, yeah. The devil inside. Yeah, yeah.
In 1 minute, we will continue our series of player profiles with the most unique cartoon character ever made, as we will profile Pebbles Flintstone. Why do we say she's the most unique cartoon character ever made? You'll know after this.
I woke up near Rittenhouse Square. There was noise in the hall, snow flowing in the air, and I could see just then the flashing spark of the match to my first smoke. Some houses are built to last, as the people inside can change too fast. I can see their faces looking through the glass, and not where they belong. I wanna stay with you, babe. Won't you let me stay? You're a beautiful girl.
Welcome back. For some characters, they might be seen differently than they are, whether it is when they're older or younger. But our player we're profiling this week has been seen as an infant, a toddler, a preteen, a teenager, and a young adult. We went from seeing her after she was born to becoming a mother herself. This week we are profiling Pebbles Flintstone, a character that has done it all on a regular basis.
Pebbles Flintstone Rubble is a fictional character in the Flintstones franchise. The red-haired daughter of Fred and Wilma Flintstone, Pebbles is born near the end of the third season. She is most famous in her infant form on the Flintstones, but has also appeared at various other ages, including as a teenager on the early 1970s spin-off The Pebbles and Bam Bam Show, and as an adult in 3 television films. She spent most of her time with Bam Bam Rubble, her childhood best friend whom she eventually marries. According to the February 22nd, 1963 edition of TV Guide, Pebbles was born at the Bedrock Orthopedic Hospital on February 22nd, 10,000 BC. That particular year was never actually cited within the show itself. Most versions of the show put the Flintstones era as around 1 million BC. As an infant, Pebbles quickly became lifelong best friends with her next-door neighbor, Bam Bam Rubble. As a preteen, Pebbles was an excellent baseball player, which led to a misadventure involving her father, as seen in the 1978 primetime special The Flintstones, Little Big League. By the time she was a teenager, Pebbles began dating Bam Bam and was noted for getting their friends into various misadventures, mostly due to sharing her dad's penchant for schemes that would inevitably backfire, such as causing a strike by Bedrock City employees when she was elected honorary mayor for a week. Her friends and she attended Bedrock High School. Pebbles had a catchphrase similar to her father's, Yabba Dabba Doozy. As an adult, Pebbles pursued a career in advertising and married Bam Bam. After this, the newly married couple moved to Holly Rock, a fictional, prehistoric version of Hollywood, California. They eventually had a son named Chip and a daughter named Roxy, who were fraternal twins. Through the various Flintstones incarnations, the age of Pebbles has varied widely, appearing as an adolescent in one spin-off and as an infant again in the next. Arranged roughly in chronological order, the Flintstones incarnations in which Pebbles has made appearances are infant/toddler, child/preteen, teenager, and adult. In 1963, when Hanna-Barbera decided to add a baby to the show, their first choice was a boy named Fred Jr. When Ideal Toy Company heard this, company executives approached Hanna-Barbera with a proposal to change the baby character to a girl for which the toy maker could create a doll, and Hanna-Barbera agreed. Pebbles, in her conventional toddler incarnation, is sometimes seen in the various post-Fruity Pebbles and Cocoa Pebbles cereal commercials that have been produced over the years. Pebbles also appears on the packages of Flintstones, Children's Vitamins, and with Bam Bam on the packages of Flintstones, Toddler Vitamins, which are manufactured by Bayer Healthcare, formerly Miles Laboratories. As for her time in the USCFL, Pebbles, along with the rest of the Flintstones, joined the league in 1983 as part of the big expansion of 1983. She's been in her teenage form from the beginning. She's been in the title game 7 times, winning 3 titles, including playing on a temporary second Hanna-Barbera team and 1 go for the Gold 49, and was the game MVP. As a backup to Daphne Blake and the Smurfette, together they have the best championship record of any other quarterback tandems in the league. They've played for the title a combined 28 times, winning 12 titles and 10 MVP awards. The following video shows Pebbles when she was born and when she was a teenager, and it's the 5th most popular video on this channel. No matter how you see her as, Pebbles is by far the most unique cartoon character ever drawn and one of the most beloved.
Hello, Fred.
How are you, Wilma?
Fine. Have you seen the baby?
The nurse is bringing it in.
Well, is it a boy or a girl?
Yeah, Wilma, what is it?
Here's your new daughter, Mr. Flintstone.
A girl? Wilma, she's beautiful. She looks just like you. A chip off the old block, huh, Fred? More like a pebble off the old Flintstone.
What a wonderful name. Pebbles Flintstone.
Say, that ain't bad. She looks like a Pebbles Flintstone.
Oh, isn't that cute? The nurse dressed her up.
What does baby say? Do you like your name?
Abba, dabba, goo.
Are there any questions?
I used to think I had the answers to everything, but now I know that life doesn't always go my way. Yeah, feels like I'm caught in the middle. That's when I realize I'm not a girl, not yet a woman. All I need is time, a moment that is mine, while I'm in between. I'm not a girl. There is no need to protect me. It's time that I learn to face up to this on my own. I've seen so much more than you know now, so don't tell me to shut my eyes. I'm not a girl, not yet a woman. All I need is time, a moment that is mine, while I'm in between. I'm not a girl, but if you look at me closely, you will see it in my eyes. This girl will always find her way. I'm not a girl. I'm not a girl. Don't tell me what to believe. I'm just trying to find the woman in me. Yeah. All I need is time. That's mine. While I'm in between. I'm not a girl, not yet a woman, not now. All I need is time, a moment that is mine, while I'm in between. I'm not a girl, not yet a woman.
In 1 minute, we will reveal the answer to last week's trivia question, this week's question, and a preview of the first two quarterfinal games.
Sitting in my car outside.
Welcome back. Now for the answer to last week's trivia question. We asked true or false. Mel Blanc was allergic to carrots. If you guessed true, you are correct. It's hard to believe that the man who voiced Bugs Bunny for nearly half a century was allergic to the very food Bugs Bunny eats. The crunching sound you hear when Bugs munches on a carrot is that of Mel Blanc crunching on a carrot, but he spit out the carrot afterwards so as not to have an allergic reaction. Here's a free fact. Mel Blanc was seriously injured in a car accident in 1961 that almost cost him his life. When doctors asked him how he was feeling, he responded by using Bugs' voice. Also, while recuperating, he read the lines for he was the voice of Barney Rubble from his bed until he was well enough to go back into the studio. Now for this week's question. This week's question is a Hall of Fame question. Remember, Hall of Fame questions aren't multiple choice. Before we ask the question, please look at the following chart. The category is common bonds. When we ask this type of question, the question involves a common coincidence between two people or two things. The pairs of characters you saw were voiced by the same person, but there's something more, and the question is, what is the common bond that these characters also share? We'll have the answer for you next week. And that will wrap things up for Week 12 and the final week of Round 3 of the USCFL's 2024 season. Next week, the quarterfinals begins, as we will talk about and present the highlights of Game 25 between the Disney All-Stars and the Dick All-Stars from Las Vegas, and the highlights of Game 26 between Team Canada and the DC Comics All-Stars from Kansas City, along with another player profile in the USCFL. And until next Sunday, this is Robbie Graham of the USCFL Network wishing you peace. Take care and stay safe.
All the characters and franchises mentioned throughout this webcast remains the copyright of their respective owners. They were used for the purpose of entertainment and or education, and therefore no breach of any copyright laws were intended. This webcast is protected under copyright and must not be rewritten, re-recorded, rebroadcast or re-uploaded in whole or in part without the prior written consents of First and 10 Productions, the American Association of Animation, and the United States Cartoon Football League. Copyright 2024.
Please buy a copy of my new book, Fashion Girl 3.0, now available on Amazon, iTunes, Barnes & Noble's website, and other sites where books are sold. Read about and meet Daphne Sandra Bates, daughter and granddaughter of the previous Fashion Girls, as she becomes the third woman to be called Fashion Girl. Follow Miss Bates as she learns what it takes to be a superheroine, her trials and tribulations, her presentation to the world, her first mission, and a final battle with her mother that will make this a must-read coming-of-age story for mature readers over the age of 18. The paperback version sells for $20.99 US dollars, in hardcover for $43.99 US dollars because of the extra material used, and $7.99 US dollars in digital format. The torch has been passed to the next generation of style chicks. Fashion Girl is an intellectual property of the United States Cartoon Football League.